Hi, my name is Bhardwaj. Welcome back to my channel. On this channel, we talk about men's issues, their journeys with false accusations, and how people can fight back when they're innocent. Today, we are joined by someone who has not just been a victim of false allegation in matrimonial disputes, but has also faced these lies very, very confidently and has recently got an exceptional result in his case. I'm today joined by Mahesh R V from Tumkur, which is near Bangalore. Mahesh actually filed a case of 340, which is perjury, in the maintenance case that was filed by his wife. And now the court has concluded that the wife lied and is guilty of perjury. Today, we're going to be talking about what perjury is, at what stage can it be filed, and what can husbands really do if their wives have filed asked for maintenance by mentioning absolute lies in it. Please do hear this interview till the very end. It's very, very inspirational, it's very knowledgeable, and I'm sure it's going to help you in your legal journey. Thank you so much, Mahesh, for joining us today and willing to share your story with us. So, starting में सबसे पहले, what exactly happened? When did you get married? When did the dispute start? And if you could share a brief on why it was, and when did the litigation begin?
Our marriage happened in the year of 2019, and soon after, within 6 months, there were a lot of differences. And she was a working woman. She was coming late to the home, and many other issues were there. Which I don't want to get into much details. But then eventually, we decided that we'll be parting ways. And soon after the child was born, she was not interested to take care of the child, and I filed a GNWC case within 2 months of the childbirth. That was during COVID time, and courts were not fully functional; they were partially functional. Nevertheless, I got weekly visitation order. So I was visiting the child, and then since there was no further, chances of reconciliation, I filed for the divorce petition also. That is MC petition. When the MC petition was set for the evidence stage, they filed a application under Section 24 of Hindu Marriage Act, seeking 50,000 maintenance every month. And in the very set petition, they had said a lot of lies. So I counted a few of them in my objections, and then the court asked for them, both the parties, to file the affidavits of assets, income, liabilities, and expenditure as per the Honorable Supreme Court judgment of Rajneesh versus Neha. She filed those, and then I was shocked to see them because not just one or two, more than 25 lies were there. And then we filed our petition, our assets and liabilities, and soon after we filed our 340 petition. It's a simple process. I searched in the Google, I saw a lot of videos online and other platforms, and I drafted a petition. I showed it to our advocate. He was okay with that. So the heading of that is that under 340 CRPC, so and so, the petitioner begs to pray the court, and you start with the points. Which are all the points that you're countering? It's as simple as that. But the court didn't accept it right away. We had to wait for about 4 months because the court was of opinion that it may be very premature to consider 340 at that stage. And then the court started asking them to file the objections, but they didn't file objections. Instead of filing objections, they realized that they had done a lot of mistakes. They brought in a new affidavit to the court when the existing affidavit was there. That's when the court got convinced that maybe since they are filing a fresh affidavit, they must have done some blunders in the previous affidavit, and that's when the 340 was registered. So, Judge passed an order saying that a separate criminal miscellaneous case will be registered to address this issue because it needs a speedy disposal apart from the MC's disposal. And then the trial in the 340 started. They were very negligent about it. We can see from the court order sheet that many days they did represent the case, 4-5 hearings. There was no counsel from their side. Even the opponent was not present to the court. And then slowly, since MC and GNWC case was also going in the same court, eventually, in one day, since all the three cases were there, they had to come in, and they started appearing for this case. And then they were very reluctant to follow the court orders also. They were not following the visitation guidelines. But the court every Saturday between 1 to 2:30, she has to bring the child to the child visitation center. She was not bringing. So we filed one more application for contempt of court. So that is also under the trial. Even that is going on. Even the last Saturday she didn't bring. She didn't turn up to the court at all. No message, nothing. Suddenly she vanishes. I don't know what happens. And then 340 was underway. uh, uh, we had a lot of evidences to show that she is a working woman. Of course, she had not hidden the fact that she is not a working woman, but she had hidden facts like she didn't submit her salary slip, she didn't submit her last 3 years of account statement. She had two accounts in the Tumkur city, but she had mentioned only one account where she was drawing salary from. The other account she didn't mention. As I had knowledge of that account, I mentioned that. Uh, Getting into the brief of my work, I am a social entrepreneur. I'm a biotechnology engineer. I run an NGO and also a company which produces nutritional supplements for the children. So my work is in the field of child, nutrition and child care. We work in multiple states in India. Um, mine is a business background. She is a government servant, and she is an MCom graduate. She is a university rank holder, and then after her education she worked in a chartered accountants firm, and then she was working at the deputy collector's office as an FDA from the past 5 years. Despite of this, having computer knowledge, all these are the facts that she has admitted in her cross. Despite having all this background, education background and the work experience, in the Rajneesh versus Neha affidavit, there are 9 different sections, 9 parts. Part 7 and Part 9 was completely skipped, was omitted out. She has edited maybe she or her advocate, I don't know, but they have edited the entire affidavit format as per their convenience. They removed the Part 7 and Part 9 and put only 8. After 6th part, directly 8th part. But their justification in the court was it was typing error or printing mistake, but the serial numbers were very much intact. It was continuous. There was no break in the flow of the serial numbers. Okay. And then starting from the very basic stuff like address. The address also, she didn't give the address. She just said Tumkur. Even in multiple other affidavits also, she is not showing the address, because I've been following up about the care of the well-being of the child. Just to hide the atrocities that are happening in the child, she is not even putting the address in the affidavit. Not only this affidavit of assets and liabilities, even in other affidavits that she is submitting to the court. Then email ID, she didn't mention the email ID. She said no. She has put blank because there were a lot of email conversations before in our case, which I have put it as exhibits in the GNWC case.
Okay.
Wherein the exchange of child, this is the demand, this much money, this much property you give, you take the child. All those were discussed in the emails. There were about 12
Wow.
emails
Okay.
during the pregnancy. During the
Hmm.
pregnancy. Uh, I had apprehensions that she won't even feed the child with the milk. So since I'm from biotechnology profession, I had visited pediatricians, and then I contacted the pediatric association. I took human milk banking training even before the child was born, and some basic equipments that are needed for human milk banking I donated to Tumkur district hospital, so that in case if the child has to, if the child doesn't get the mother's milk, I don't want to feed the bottle milk. I would be searching for donors and getting the milk for the child. This was the planning then. So, coming back to the case of this maintenance case, that's the reason why she was hiding the email ID. And then the question was very clear: are you assessed under income tax? She said no. She's an MCom graduate, worked in chartered accountants firm, and she said no. Uh, then I went to Lokayukta and said she's a government servant. It has to be obvious. She has to file her income tax every year. There she filed last 5 years income tax details, which I brought and put it to the family court. Okay, like this, the list goes on. There were more than 20 to 25 things that she had thing in the HMA to Section 24 application. She had mentioned I have 5 dependents at home. In the assets and liabilities affidavit, it reduced to 3. But in fact, it is only she and her child, because her mother is getting pension. Her sisters are married off. They are in their husband's home, and their younger brother is mature. He is above 18 years of age. Okay, and then her the overall crux of this case is she had intentionally, very clearly suppressed all her income sources. She exorbitantly increased her expenditure. She said she admitted in the court that the child is not going to school. It was 3 years then. It is staying in the home, but then still 3 lakh expenditure so far for the child, and every month 35,000. The breakup is not given. Okay, and it is 35,000 is only for the food and cloth of the child. These kind of exorbitant claims were made. Not only that, the in my income was also exorbitantly increased and shown. For example, in the assessment year 2021, she had told that I have a turnover of 20 crores and I have filed an income tax return of 18 lakhs. That was the income tax that I have paid. What is what she had told. But in reality, I had paid hardly 37,000 some odd rupees. Like this, she was clearly increasing my show, trying to show very high income from my side, very high expenditure on her side, and very low income on her side. She said,
Yeah.
except my salary, I don't have any source of income to maintain a family of 5 people, wherein her mother is a pensioner, probably getting more than 25,000 per month. Her sisters are married off. Her brother is mature, and then they have houses, rental income from rental houses that they are giving. They have a lot of agricultural lands. So all this information I collected. The rental houses, the electricity bill, copy I submitted to the court. The agriculture lands that they have, I just googled it. There are some apps given by government of Karnataka for the help of farmers to find out the khata numbers and survey numbers by sitting in home. You can do. So I used those options, and since I know the ancestral names of their side, I just googled it and found out the katas, extract, RTCs, etc. easily. That's it's all some you have to just use your brain. And then statement of expenditure she had exorbitantly increased, and then she didn't give even single bill for any of her expenditure. Not even any bill. That section itself is skipped. And most important, all of us know, even though if we are not from finance background like her, we all know PAN card and Aadhaar card. If you get of a person, you can to some extent get the economic activity of a particular person. So in a section which asks her PAN card, Aadhaar card, ration card, election card, everything was skipped. She didn't give. So what is the intention? So it was very clear to the court that she had consistently hidden the key important things like home address, email ID, PAN card, Aadhaar card, these things. Then she had exorbitantly increased her the salary. I know how much salary she gets, and if you calculate all the 5 years salary that she got, it won't reach 18 lakh figure. But she had shown expenditure of 18 lakh in this affidavit. The last 5 years salary won't match up to 18 lakhs, but she has shown 18 lakhs of expenditure. How is it possible? Even without giving the expenditure bills, not even 1 rupee bill she has provided in this court. So all these things I, realized, and then made a strong representation along with our, help of our advocates. And I should, mention that our advocates with their great experience put right questions in the cross-examination. Some key questions changed the dimension of the whole case. And as a result of a combined effort, because we know our case, we have to go with a lot of research. I used to do a lot of online research about the judgment citations. In the written arguments, we can see more than 8 different high court citations we have given.
Yes.
All similar to our case, where the wife had hidden her income and tried to exorbitantly take maintenance from the husband side. So because of the joint efforts of as a litigant, how I have to present my case, how much information I have to give to my advocate, how much I can look for citations in my free time, I did that part because advocates may not have that much of time, and they just join hands with us, and it's a joint win. That now I think probably I have been quite a lot of senior advocates in our district. Probably first time in Tumkur history, a family court history, we have successfully passed a 340 order in our favor. The order is in our favor, and now probably in a couple of days' time, a criminal case will be registered in the CJM court of Tumkur under section 191, 183, 199, and 209 of IPC. The beauty of this Rajneesh versus Neha's affidavit format is, at the end of the format, they ask for a declaration and verification, where it clearly says the deponent who is signing the affidavit should say that I have read and understood these sections, section 191, 193, 199, and 200. I have understood the implications of this in case if I am hiding any information or giving any wrong information to the court. So, despite that, being an educated, studied from first standard in English medium, and despite having all this knowledge, she has blindly signed this affidavit with the intention of cheating both the court and me. Now she is at the receiving end of it.
What a brilliant fight, Mahesh. A lot of women think that they can lie and get away, and that's why a lot of people are very curious actually on 340, Mahesh. So just share for our audience. 2019 you got married, and
Yeah.
2020
21 I filed MC.
21 you filed the divorce case. After how many months of you filing the divorce case, did she file a maintenance case under Section 24?
After probably 3-4 months.
After 3-4 months. So had she received the summons for the divorce case?
Yeah, yeah, she was on the court.
Okay,
She
okay.
was on
So after
because
3-4 months,
from
she
2019 itself there was a GNWC case running.
okay, okay, okay.
So she
So
was she was attending the case in the same court. So she had to
okay,
come for the MC.
okay, okay. So after you file for divorce case, 3-4 months, within 3-4 months, she files this maintenance case, and after
And there
that,
is inconsistency in that also. In the HMA section 24 application, she asked for 50,000 maintenance. In the
mhm,
Rajneesh versus Neha affidavit format, she asked for 35,000. So,
okay,
the inconsistencies were
okay.
very there.
All right. So, so after you filed, sorry, after she filed for maintenance, after that, in how many months or at what stage, like you filed for divorce, then she filed this maintenance case. Did you file your,
After filing of divorce, within 3 months, 3 to 4 months, she filed probably, I'm not sure about the dates, she
yeah,
filed the maintenance case. As
yes,
soon as I saw the affidavit, I was like,
yes,
I sensed that I can get something out of it. And
okay,
after the first HME affidavit, the second was the assets and liabilities affidavits. I was damn sure about it. Even though I got a opposite side's copy, I was not believing my eyes until I get the certified copy from the court. I was
okay.
not believing that can she make such big mistakes.
So once
Mhm.
she filed the 24 HMA, then she had to first submit her income
Yes,
affidavit and all of these
what
details.
Rajni Sneha says.
So, okay, so you waited for her to completely file her
Yes.
documents, right? So
So
that's a
let me
wait
take you
period.
to the process. What,
Hmm.
as per the Supreme Court guidelines, it
Yes.
says the applicant who files the maintenance case has to file her assets and liabilities first. That is
Correct.
first compulsory.
Yes.
If we have any doubts or clarifications, if we want to extract more information out of it, we can give interrogatories and seek information officially. She has to give it in writing. If you don't want to do that, fine. Some people give these interrogatories and give them a chance to correct their mistakes. I would, in my scenario, I didn't do that. Second, you file your assets and liabilities honestly within first 4 weeks, and then if you have a case, go straight file 340. That's all.
Yeah. So
You don't have to
that's the
wait for the
stage.
cross examination of her for her to come into the box and say some more lies. No, she may correct her mistakes when she comes to the witness box. So you don't have to wait for that. She is a learned lady, and he is filing a false affidavit in the court means he is intentionally cheating you and also the court. And the beauty of this is, in some of the judgments what I have read in Karnataka High Court judgment, it says perjury is an offense which is affecting the administration of justice. It is polluting the flow of justice. It is somewhere considered like a crime on the court. That's why the judge is authorized. Only the judges will have the power to file this, case of 191, 185.
Correct. Correct. So basically, your advice or your suggestion to people who are fighting maintenance cases in which their wives are basically lying through the teeth. Your advice. What would be your advice to wait?
If you have a lie, if you have a proof for it, It is
Yes.
not just enough that you are finding the lie. You have a proof to prove that it is lie in the court, in a court admissible format. The evidence should be in a court admissible format, and then you can go and file 340.
बट 191 एंड ऑल ऑफ these sections इनमें कितने टाइम तक की सजा मिल सकती है, या
That's
और
what
व्हाट
I'm
इज द
reading.
काइंड ऑफ
That's what I'm
punishment?
reading. That's what I'm
Okay,
reading.
okay, yeah,
She
please,
has
please.
to sign. She has signed behind this two lines above below this. It says punishable with imprisonment up to 7 years and fine. That is for section 191 and 193. And another 209, imprisonment up to 2 years and fine. I have a case from Amreli Court of Gujarat, where the woman is fined with 3 years imprisonment and 10,000 fine. If she fails to file the pay the fine, another 6 months of imprisonment in one section, and another same 3 years and 10,000. So in total 6 years of imprisonment she has got. It's reported in Times of India. Anybody can search. Woman. The title is "Woman Gets 6 Years Jail in Perjury Case." That's the title of the article in Times of India. And I was discussing with several other groups. People are saying we have few more examples of women getting punished here. And
Yeah,
I
these
want
are
to quote
rare.
this. I want to quote this judgment from Karnataka High Court by Justice Krishna Dikshit, where he has written. It's a beautiful judgment. He starts with Shakespeare's, words about perjury, and ends with Lord Macaulay, who is considered as one of the sages of judiciary, and that he has just quoted that it says a minimum of 1 year and maximum of 7 years of punishment. So I believe a minimum of 1 year is there in this at least.
When you do not have anyone as your dependent, I mean, what do women think before lying to the extent that she's showing her married sisters as her dependent? Like, do you think that it is a very, very conscious understanding of the woman, or do you think it's maybe her lawyer would have, but I think it is she who would have lied about all of this, right?
I would say the basic crux for breakdown of this our marriage was the greed for money, and that took her to that extent. All that she wanted, as I believe, is out of this marriage was property, money. Whatever she wanted. That's what she was like looking up to, and the greed for money took her to this extent, I would say. And second reason, a common notion in the society that if the husband is earning more than the wife, you go file, you get money. Some people, even if the husband is a government servant, they say half of salary. You go file, you will get half of salary. That's what the notion is, but that's not true.
Mahesh, now what exactly are the cases that are running on your end, and to what extent do you think you will fight? And
So
before
the
that, I
first case
actually,
that I filed was a GNWC case, which is almost at the end stage of the case. Second was MC petition, which is at the stage of cross examination of myself petitioner. They're playing it around. They don't attend court hearings for consequently 3-4 days, and then they come around once the case is closed, stage is closed. For example, cross examination of petitioner, they come back and say, "Sorry, we were busy in other work. Please give us one more chance. Reopen the case." They have done it twice. They just want to drag the things. But anyway, that is almost once the my cross examination is over, we are going to do her cross examination. And but we have a lot of cases of mental cruelty against her. This is not only in this HMA, this perjury case she is faced. She filed one more petition against me with the Commissioner of Social Welfare Department, head of the state. She went to Vidhan Soda, Bangalore, all the way and filed a complaint saying that my husband has taken, although I am OBC, he has taken SC/ST benefits. He has done his engineering based on SC/ST. He has taken crores of money for his NGO out of his SC/ST fake certificate, etc. She complained. A DYSP did an investigation for 1 year. They checked my bank account details from last 13 years, all my NGO accounts, my company accounts, my education degrees, all the schools where I studied, they went and searched everywhere. And then after 1 year of investigation, the deputy commissioner headed committee, district caste verification committee, gave a clean sheet. So I filed a defamation case also on her, because she has, and not just as an SCST or anything else, I have not received not even 1 rupee grant for my NGO from last 12 years. In fact, I have donated lakhs of money to the government as an aid. As an Indian citizen who owns an NGO, I have not received even 1 rupee from past 13 years for my NGO.
what was she demanding actually? What was her demand in the maintenance
Demand
case?
were like 2 sites in Tumkur and 25 lakhs of cash in exchange of you take your divorce and child.
So she wanted two pieces of lands and 25 lakh rupees and was willing to give the child away.
Yes, we have a lot of
This,
audio recordings and video recordings of this, what statement I am giving, and which were submitted to the court also in an evidence in the electronically available form in
and
the
she
6th
took the
February.
child away when the child was just how old?
15 days old.
How many times have you been able to meet your kid until now, Mahesh?
After 1 year, the COVID time passed. First year till now, every week I'm meeting him, and we're having fun time. In the last 3-4 months, once the 340 case came to a closing stage, she has thought some bad things to the child. I believe now he is not, mixing with me as before. But luckily, I have made all the videos of the child playing with me for a stretch of 1.5 hour in all my other outings. So now she's trying to tell the court that the child is not liking the father. But we have submitted a 250 GB pen drive, which shared with more than 500 videos where the child is happily playing with the father from his age of 1.2 years to 3.8 years. So she cannot lie there also.
Wow. There are, of course, observations in your 340 petition also that she has attempted
Not
contempt
completing
of
the
court
part.
many times and then not
Yeah.
allowed to you to see the child as well.
Yeah.
So, do you think the courts have actually understood that she's on the wrong side here?
Yeah, I believe our court has noticed that. That's why the petition contempt case is also going on. It's under Order 39 Rule 2A. A case separate case is going on.
That you have filed contempt of court under the GNWC?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So she didn't file all of the other criminal cases that are usually a part of the
She filed
packages,
for
Mahesh?
88A. I got to the High Court and got it straight from past 3 years. It is on stay.
Oh, she did file.
She did. That I filed GNWC immediately. She filed 488A. That is on
What
stay.
all sections did she file in 498A? I mean, what
Don't
all?
remember. I don't. It's a
Okay.
3-year-old case and it's on stay. It is never gotten into the court.
So it's on
The
your
trial has not
498A.
begun. The trial has
Okay.
not begun. The police filed a charge sheet. After that, it is on stay.
Okay.
Not
So
even
a
one
lot of
day they have gone to the court.
okay. A lot of people,
And but
in
but she did other things like, as I said, my caste and education, my NGO funding, all these kind of things she did. But in all the things, I came out clean. She has filed a police complaint saying that I tried to stab her with a knife, in the court premises, just adjacent to the court hall. And then she continues to say that the policemen and the court officials came, rescued her, took both of us to the judge, and judge said, "You go home," and I came home. And then she went and complained to the police saying that my husband tried to stab me with a knife just outside the court hall, that is inside the child visitation room, just 3-4 steps away. And police court officials came, rescued me, and they sent me home and sent my husband also home. This is the kind of lie she says. She filed n number of cases against me in the police stations. Now I think the police have also realized she is a serial liar. She is not getting entertained. Somewhere, 1 or 2 instances, she successfully filed an FIR also. I am fighting that on the merit of the case.
it is very unusual to see such happy and smiling faces when people are going through so much, Mahesh. I'm sure you are missing your son. I'm sure you're, of course, fighting so many cases. What keeps your spirit alive? What really helped you in fighting?
The spirit is, I want to ensure that the number of years I am separated from my son, those many years she should spend in jail. That is my motto, and that's why I'm fighting for that. She
Okay.
has to face whatever she has done. And we
What is
tried giving lot of options for compromise also. It's not that I'm just fighting it alone. We pressed for shared parenting. We gave her a lot of chances to go on a settlement, have a shared parenting. I was ready to put a lot of property in the name of my son, and they also, she used her money greedy mind and asked, no, don't give it to the son, give it to me, etc., etc. Then we said it's no point. We even tried to ask her, give the Aadhaar card and PAN card of the child so that I can invest in SIPs and mutual funds. 3 times she agreed in the open court, and then they said, no, I won't give because it will affect me on my income tax. Illogical again.
This is crazy, actually. My God.
Yeah.
What would be your advice, Mahesh, to husbands who are fighting false cases by their wives? And
Don't lose hope. Just concentrate on what matters as an evidence in the court. Technically, do some homework. Instead of spending time watching movies or Facebook, WhatsApp, do some research, do some homework. We're all lucky enough that we have internet in our hands. Do some homework. Keep a tab, eye on the judgments that come. Just keep yourself updating about the progress that is happening in the legal world, and go discuss with your lawyer. Show something new that has come up to your lawyer. Maybe he is not enough free enough to see to the same extent as you are seeing, because he has hundreds of other different types of cases also, not just matrimonial cases. So be alert, be positive. If you have truth on your side, you will win.
um, how many years do you think it's going to take you to come out of these situations, Mahesh? And how long you
I
are
probably think
preparing
another
yourself
six
to
months to
fight?
1 year. 6 months to 1 year should be the end of it. Because from the present 340 order that I have, it's a very strong order, I can see. And lucky thing is, she has admitted to most of the crime that she has done on that. Most of the false information that she has given through affidavit. And that should not take much time for the trial. It should end within 3 to 6 months. And if there is conviction, she will go into the jail, and then I will have a happy ending. Although this was not intentional, but it is a self-made mistake by her. We didn't want to send her to jail. We all that we wanted was a shared parenting. We have been pressing for shared parenting from long time. If she had agreed for shared parenting, this situation would not have arrived for her.
What kind of a pain a father goes through in such kind of situations, Mahesh? Just on an emotional level. Uh,
Very emotional. Sometimes you go and wait near the court from 1 p.m., 1:30, 1:40, and then finally a message comes, I'm not coming today. 40, 45 minutes you wait and come back. Sometimes you wait all the way till 2:30. She may say, I'm coming on the way, this, that, and they won't turn up. Sometimes even you message the opposite side lawyer 10 times, there will be no response. Recently it happened so that I waited till 1:45. I said I'm going since they didn't turn up. Then a message came. She's there in the CVC, Child Visitation Center. I was in the court gate. I went back within 1 minute. She's not there. I made the entire video of the premises, including the child visitation room. I sent it to them saying that they're not there. I made video calls to show them that she's not there. And then there is no response. This is the kind of, I don't know what kind of lies they tell. They're
what
playing
do you
with the
think
whole
is this? What do you think is the psychology? I mean, we have recently seen. In fact, the mother was from Bangalore only, Suchana Seth, and it was a very disturbing case. What
And
goes
we have
on in
recently,
the
I read one more case from Karnataka, Hubli Dharwad, similar case of mother taking of the life of the child. I don't know what goes in these people's mind. They are again actually against the well-being of the child. For a child to grow to its full potential, being in the profession of child development, I have touched lives of more than 12 lakh children so far in my journey in various states, and I know it fully how important it is for the child to get both parents' love. And we have tried to explain it to her by filing the memos to the court. We have filed books in our GNWC case, books which says what is the importance of parenting, both the parents, so that let her understand. But they don't appreciate the fact that the child needs both parents' love. They are against the well wish, benefit, best interest of the child. That's all I can say. And this is very heartening to see. Even though I am working on lakhs of children's well-being, it's happening on my own child. That's the most saddest part.
I know, Mahesh, these things can be absolutely, absolutely very tough, but I really love the way you're fighting. Mahesh, one question to you. Usually, what we have seen is that a lot of people actually have tried to take the perjury route, and they do try to make use of 340. I personally know someone who made use of 340 in Bombay in a domestic violence case, but eventually the wife, though she was found guilty, but there was no criminal charges put on her, and she was asked to pay fine of some 10,000 rupees. So courts are usually hesitant to take 340 cases, especially against the woman who lies in these cases. So Did you have to do some convincing of the court? How did your lawyer convince the court that, so
Give
many lies have been?
you go give citations to the court, try to convince them, saying that this is what is the, because see, law is evolving. That is one thing we should understand. Law is not the same what it was in 1950 or 1980, and it keeps on evolving. So you need to go and convince them, because that's the only option that you have got. You don't have any other option. That's the only tool that you have. Convincing the court. Go with right citations, update the court, request the court saying that these are the latest judgments coming in this front. Please look into this, and I'm a victim of this. Please give me the justice. Convince the court. That's all I can say. To convince the court effectively, you should be updated. You should be, you should be knowing what is happening in the legal world.
Can she appeal this?
Of course, in the High Court as a writ petition, because I know one case of Karnataka High Court, which I said the Shakespeare and the Macaulay's are mentioned. That was a case where both husband and wife are doctors. Wife said, I don't have any husband, any income, and she filed for a maintenance of about 1 lakh per month. And then husband produced to the in family court 340 was rejected. He didn't in Bangalore family court 340 was not accepted. He went to the High Court, and then in the High Court it was accepted. He had produced income tax details of last 2 years of the wife to the court. Then wife put a case on her. FIR was lodged and criminal case was booked on the husband for stealing her income tax records. Okay. And then the opposite took that as an advantage and tried to argue in the court, saying that that case is pending, so we don't entertain his 340. But court said that is separate, this is separate. She has lied, and perjury is a heinous offense. This is the word used in the judgment of a Karnataka High Court. Perjury is a heinous offense in civilized societies, which will affect the fountain of justice, and then ordered the lower court to file a 340 case. See, when the whole tide is against you, you may have to swim a little harder, but you should not lose hope. If you lose hope, you are gone.
Anything else that you did that kept you motivated in these times?
There was one situation where I was very much upset, because even after repeated attempts, we were not getting visitation rights. We quoted several Supreme Court judgments, and then that time I was very much depressed. That time one person told me that, see, if you lose this fight, your child will be the sufferer. So the best interest of the child should be your motivation. If you think you want best for your child, then that will keep you motivated. That's all I can say for fathers.
Wow, this is so inspirational, Mahesh. Hats off to your journey. I think that all the sharing by you was very, very inspirational, Mahesh. Thank you so much for taking out your time. My last question to you would be, how are your parents dealing with this? Because they are dealing with the failed marriage of their son, and they're also dealing with being away from their grandchild in its smallest age, when everybody just loves to play with kids. How do you deal with that?
Yeah, that's very sad for them, and they're missing their grandson very badly. Although we tried putting the modification request for the visitation orders, the court allowed only for my mother to meet the child, not the father, that is the grandfather. We're hoping that soon the child comes home, as soon as the JNWC case ends. Maybe we are hoping for shared parenting, although we have prayed for 100% custody. I think we cannot be too optimistic. At least shared parenting, and if there is a conviction and punishment under section 191, 183 of those sections, then definitely we will be the only. I'll be the only parent outside, so we will have 100% custody.
How do you see the this case as ending, or what is your wish? That is that how.
We wish and hope that the child will get both the parents' love for its well-being. That was my top priority. That's why we pushed for shared parenting. In fact, in this 340 case, uh, after the cross-examination of both sides are done, there's 17 dates given for final hearing, which was an effort to ensure that the shared parenting is applied and compromise is taken. Just I was ready to even sacrifice this 340 position that I'm in for the best interest of the child, so that the child will have both the parents' love for its well-being. But since the opposite side didn't take up that, inevitably the 340 ended in this kind of a judgment. You know, so I'm not having any hopes that she would change in future also. So I would see this ending like she going to jail and we getting the child custody. That's all.
You're obviously not going to pay a penny to her, right?
Why should I? And in fact, she withdrew the application. The moment we filed 340, after four hearings, she realized what is going to be her ending in 340. She withdrew her maintenance application. She said, "I don't want any maintenance. I am taking back my application." We filed objections. We said, "No, we want to pay." We sent money orders, which was rejected. I want to pay for my son's well-being. But then court made an observation. Even in the judgment, it's written that the court allowed her to take back her maintenance application subject to the condition that taking back the maintenance application won't affect 340 proceedings because once committed is committed. So we pressed
Wow.
that also.
This is pretty exceptional, Mahesh. So many congratulations to you for this feat in your journey. I know this is just a stepping stone. Your final goal is still pretty far. So all the best to you for that. And how can people reach you, Mahesh, if they wish to take any guidance from you?
They can contact me on my email or they can message me on my Facebook. My Facebook is Mahesh R V is my username.
All right. Thank you so much, Mahesh, for joining us and sharing this wealth of knowledge with us. And we wish you all the best for your cases.
Thank you for putting me on this platform and letting me share my story, which might inspire hundreds of fathers and husbands